So, we're back again for another round of Terra Mystica, and this is actually looking a lot more promising than usual. The BGA would at least purport to be close to giving us the match so soon already. I think definitely I've noticed one downside of making this slog up to 500 ELO is that we're starting to experience some of the same effects that good players get in League of Legends when they queue up, or as you get closer and closer to the top, the longer the queue times get. Illusion, you are excused. I'm not exactly sure what your crime is in this. Unless you're... okay. No time for potential apologies. It looks like we are jumping into the game nice and early today. I am sorry that you had to wait a couple minutes there, Illusion. I know how fantastic my stream is and how people just can't stand the delay. Okay, so we have to choose in position 1 what we would like to play. So let's see what stands out here. We have 2 trading post scoring rounds, usually pretty hard to capitalize en masse on the early ones. Dwelling spamming coming out early is actually pretty useful for Alchemists, who can definitely start that up quickly without the coin limitations on round 2. I think who this sequence actually bodes best for is Engineers, since they can hit the TP bonus twice on round 1, and then also the fact that Stronghold timing comes out around 4 is usually around when they're looking to construct that, right in the middle of the game, so it has time to earn all its points, but not so early that the resource cost is prohibitive. Looking down at the bonus cards, I do like the look of this for Engineers. There's lots of bonus worker cards. Notably, we're missing the 6 coin card in this lineup, so that's something that points heavily away from a few factions, like Mermaids in particular. Hey Alexa, nice of you to drop by. Too bad you can't stay too long. Oof. Illusion, you gotta, you know what, mods, just get on this guy. We need to suppress all this talk of chaos magicians. If I had any mods, hopefully now they would listen to me. Though I know there's really like a 1 in 3 shot that they jump on the chaos magician train. So there are a lot of scoring outlets amongst our bonus cards. And Town in round 6, certainly a high scoring thing, so we don't have to be worried too hard about factions with innate point generation mechanics like Darklings. Really this does seem pretty reasonable on the whole for Alchemists. We are missing the Priest bonus card, but we could definitely make do in some manner or other. Engineers and Alchemists, still my best factions, so let's toss in one of them. Of course, that's not a guarantee we'll actually wind up playing either. Yeah, let's go ahead and see how this goes. That is correct, Lexabyte. Last time I listened to chat, it was incredibly punishing. Just horrors throughout. Alright, get in there, Alchemists. So we really could take either one here. The low coin game does actually suggest Alchemists a little more, maybe. I don't know. This is a strong scoring sequence for Engineers. They're both pretty strong in this situation, but if we checked the ratings of our opponents right at game start, we saw pretty fast that this avocado person was spec'd to be reasonable, and the other 2 people had very, very few games of this. So for playing against bad people, I want to deny the easy out of playing Darklings, because it, certainly there is a high skill cap to playing the Darklings, but if you screw it up, it's not as punishing as many other races. We want bad people to get punished for their badness, so we're happy to go ahead on that. That is correct, Illusion. Not that I hate you, please don't interpret that way. But it is, yes, my only Chaos Magicians game was when you were away playing IRL board games, so I hope that was worth it. You can still watch the VOD, it's still listed on this channel, even if Twitch's interface has changed recently. Okay, interesting to see Swarmlings come out here. I think they're not in great shape for this, because they really have to build the Stronghold on round 1. I guess they do score twice on the Trading Post, scoring in round 1, but they can't capitalize on round 5 TP scoring. Because, unfortunately, their Trading Post upgrades, while numerous over the whole game, are sort of forced to be spread out, just because of faction mechanics. They do have access to this bonus tile, which is really made for the Swarmlings, but still think not 100% at their finest here. Still, Swarmling favorite start position certainly is this hex. And so, in fact, if they had it their own way, they would get a couple neighbors around here and start there, and then they'd just play the whole game over on this west side and interact with other people as little as possible. That would be their preference. Actually, Nomads coming into the game does enable that a little more. So actually, maybe Swarmlings are moving up in the ratings. It's a good thing. I actually spent a lot of time between last stream and this one studying Swarmlings play. In particular, there was one game I found. I may link it in chat in a moment. I think we'll go ahead and bid Alchemists 30 here. You had Twitch staff Illusion. How could you? I promise there's nothing racist about playing Chaos Magicians, Twitch staff. You need not look into this game. I am being slandered. Alright, interesting to see how this avocado guy bids. People with extremely few games are even more likely than usual to just toss in their bids for 30 points on whatever faction they brought into the pool. So, if people want to play all of these at 30, that's probably pretty great for us. It's like I said, the main faction I would be worried about being higher on power level on this board is Engineers. Swarmlings may do okay with Nomads as a neighbor. But we will actually be, if we take the Alchemist position, we'll be able to get in the Swarmlings' way a bit. Because kind of their ideal is to take this whole west side and just have one massive megatown with a breeding pool. If they could sort of choose how their opponents behaved. They would have neighbors for the opening that they didn't have to worry about after that. And the Nomads can enable that, except if we cut this hex, it makes it much more annoying to do. Then they don't get the free skip across to here with that takes 2 spaces for a single terraform. And this is the main hex that they would be able to build a bridge from across to the top part. So they sort of get stuck coming in on this bottom. And that's slightly more terraforms for them to work with. It's also a little hard for them to connect to something in the middle of the board. It's easier to dig through in here than it is to create shipping and go around a larger distance here. Do I keep up with MTG? Not as well as I should. A little bit. I'm current on MTG happenings as of Ikoria, which is pretty recent. I'm aware that there was a change to the ban list very recently on grounds of racism in cards. Yes, the Illusion, that's exactly what I'm referring to. Particularly funny in my mind is that 1 4-mana blue enchantment where the artwork depicts the KKK, and the card name is Invoke Prejudice. If you're looking for a political stance from me on this, I don't know. I'm somewhat indifferent to it. All of the cards banned were inconsequential in terms of gameplay. Just ones that happen to be interpretable as racist entities. Yeah, there's varying degrees of stretching on those bans. I don't really have much stake in this. Like, I'm not gonna judge any of these as being a little too out there. Just because, like I said, I have no attachment to playing these things. None of them had any competitive significance at all. None of the existence of those cards does not really bother me, but like also I don't really have any stake in the game, so whatever. If people want them gone, sure. Oh, is that so? What exactly is meant by they can't be sold anywhere but eBay? Or like I assume you could still I assume that you could still buy them in a physical game store. In fact, some of these cards are so insignificant I would imagine that the values go up a little bit. Just because now they have something attached to their legacy. Anything at all that's, anything, rather than just being some 5-cent common that everyone forgets. Oh, did they really? Okay. Well, that's an interesting reaction on their part. Like I said, I don't have a strong feeling either way. We may well entertain the No, you know what? Actually, one strong point against playing the Swarmlings is this town scoring in round 6 is really, really bad for them. Because that's something everyone else can capitalize on a lot, and the Swarmlings have as a faction ability that they get a bunch of extra resources every time they found a town. And that's not really something they can forego. They just don't get rolling fast enough without collecting those resource spurts. So they won't be able to cash in on this nearly as much as other people. It makes me pretty leery of sleeving up with them here. I do think the witches have been bid down a bit needlessly. The question is if we want to pursue nomads in this spot. So we may well be able to get away with a little bit of a cheeky line on Alchemists here, because Swarmlings should be opening Stronghold. Witches, I'm a little uncertain. They could really choose to play this either way with the Temple or the Stronghold opening. I don't think a Dwelling Rush is very good since the Dwellings score in round 2 and they won't get any if they play the Dwelling Rush in round 1. Let's see, if we want to go for getting some extra Dwellings down in round 1 off of a Stronghold, we could choose to do it. And we may well still take an Earth 1 favor, which is definitely our favorite one as Alchemists. Given that score is income for Alchemists, it's definitely a truism that they just like getting more points. Nomad's always consistent. Yeah, if we go down too much farther on this, I may well play the Nomads. They can definitely reap this round 6 town scoring very, very hard. No problems for them to take a Sanctuary in 4, though that's going to be true with basically every race here except Swarmlings. Yeah, it's a very reasonable sequence for them. But we have 2 factions that might open Stronghold and not Temple. And also we're first chair. So, hopefully we can take away the point favors that other people might want. Let's see. Okay. Weird to me that witches are going so low on this, but it must just be a favorite race of some of these people. I don't think anything here is particularly witch-centric. I guess they can do there is a nicety for witches that they start with 2 ranks in the Cult of Air. So, if you do some voodoo, like taking an opening favor like this one as an income favor, you can catch a free spade in between rounds 1 and 2, which can conceivably allow you to lay extra dwellings in round 2. Get started a little faster economically. Kind of weird to me that they're being bid this low, though, with no contest on the nomads. I think in this spot, I would feel more comfortable if the nomad price dropped just a little bit. Okay, it is going to be hard to get a chunk of dwellings on 1 with no priest starting tile. We can use this shipping one, but that's actually, it's reasonably often consumed by witches as a bonus card. So we may not have access to it. 4th chair nomads also has the nice property that they'll have access to this spade for the first round. So they can definitely get a very hard rolling start. This may well be the juncture where we bail and start bidding down nomads. Let's take a look at stats on this. Again, you always have to keep in mind on these stats that the Alchemists are appreciably better than they appear. Just because these Swarmlings as well, just because they get access to better faction landscapes, which are not included in these stats. Who's our 4th? It's the Witches. Okay, and we have these bid down to 20, 22, and 230s. So, at these spreads, yeah, we always expect to see these on the bottom. As I predicted, Witches, not nearly so low. Yeah, I mean, these stats make the Nomads look very, very strong. And, you know, if we're playing against worse players, as we have reason to suspect, then taking away the consistent race probably a good bet. So let's start working on the Nomads here. I have not drafted Ikoria. I've gotten the impression that it's a little bit frustrating drafting it, because the set has this, like, really cool companion thing going on, and it's pretty nifty to try and, even if it's a little overpowered for constructed purposes, it's pretty nifty to try and fit companions into a draft deck in a nifty way. So that's all well and good, but then the whole draft format is just ruined by the cycling deck being rampant and overpowered. Yes, mutate is among the broken things. Alright, so good we've chased down nomads a little bit. Do we want to chase them down further? Probably. We have a blue faction in. Blue and yellow tend to help each other out some. Get down in price, nomads. If we can force the Swarmlings to kind of build around this arc for us, and we come in the middle with our trading posts, we can collect a lot of cash without paying away much points in the interaction. So that's definitely something we can try to leverage somewhat. If you think about it, witches are liable to start here as one of their points, so they could entertain a start here if Swarmlings jump in there. I'm just trying to think about how much power we stand to be able to absorb. And the answer is, if we jump on a start over here or here, not likely a ton. So we try to be absorbing it just in this triangle here of Swarmling, Nomads, Alchemists, which means we would commit to having a temple or stronghold on this post. So we're already looking at a forced bridge town here with Alchemists, but at least it does give us a lot of power in the start. Really, it's the witches who will be left out of that interaction on any start point they could pick. Yeah, okay. It seems fine to... Let's go one further here. Okay. Now they're really starting to come down a chunk more. They're still rated the highest on this with these spreads, but again, Alchemists are much, much better than the stats here will indicate. So we're gonna chase down the Alchemists again a little bit. Do I think avocado is... I don't know. It's hard to know. Okay, final bids locked in at these positions. So I think we're pretty happy about that. We'll take it. Good thing we chased the nomads down a bunch. We definitely want this start tile because we want to be forming that triad here. And we can probably... Well... Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. This does make this spot much worse for the swarmlings, but the nomads will take this placement regardless, so we're definitely going to have a neighbor in here, and if the swarmlings don't start here, then we have a natural town construction right in this region along the coast without having to use bridges. So, we can be pretty happy in that position. As for our other start location, kind of the classic one with Alchemists would be one on this continent. This is just outrageously good for black, given that it has some type, like, I don't even know how many hexes this is that require 1 or 0 terraforms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Truly, it's scandalous how easy it is to colonize across this continent with a black faction. But, you know, there's not actually a lot of pressure to start here, given that we may well not get a neighbor. Like, if the witches chose to start here in preparation... See, actually, I may have misplayed this already. I probably should have posted a dwelling here first, because that could give the witches the confidence to start in that post. Whereas beginning here, you know, we know the swarmlings and nomads will take these two regardless. So I can slide my last dwelling into the triangle there, either way. If we want a neighbor on this continent, we're gonna have to take this one and hope that the nomad player jumps in on this tile. Okay, Swarmling's going south instead, so they're very much just going to try and play their solitaire thing in a corner. They'll give us some power to start out with, we'll give them some power to start out with, and we'll call it a day. That sounds fine to me. That does make it even harder for them to capitalize on this, so their late game scoring is just going to be abysmal. They're like the worst suited faction in the game to reap all 3 of these rewards on end. Also, high point for us as Alks, that this bonus tile is in the game, and there's no mermaids to fight us really hard for it. So, you know, eventually towards the maybe the last turn of the game, this will be something that other people like, but until then, it's just going to be a lot of points for us that no one will ever want to battle us for. So that is super excellent. I think that I think it's probably safer to trust that avocado is an avocado, even though the profile picture is a pineapple. And here's my rationale for this. I know this may be a little bit hard for you to believe, Illusion, but this is actually not a self-portrait. I know, right? It's just an artist's rendition of what I look like, not actually a camera shot. So, not everyone's avatar is you know, some amount of creative interpretation is allowed here. And oh goodness, okay, the witches did jump there. that makes this spot really automatic. Super happy they had the foresight to do that, because they have a pretty good guess we'll want to come in here. But again, I should have placed these dwellings in reverse order, just so that they have the confidence and don't have to gamble on me doing anything like that to make the placement better for them, because this helps both of us. Notably without helping nomads or swarmlings. So, I'm happy to do a thing that helps all of us equally, as long as it does not help some of us. Maybe there's some amount of relation. Like, if I was an avocado, I think, particularly as a California resident, maybe my life's aspiration would be to be in a fancy guacamole or salsa or something. And pineapple, avocado, definitely things that you could be salsaing together. Maybe they're just expressing some sort of where they think they're headed as an avocado. Just tasteful pairings. Maybe this is a shot of their life partner. I think an avocado could do pretty well falling in love with a pineapple. Okay, bonus tiles. Zap, zap. These went away fast, so we could take a worker here to start. I don't think that's where we want to be. I think we're more interested in 3 power and a shipping bonus. And then the idea is that we'll start by putting dwellings down the coastline with 2 shipping, but really 1, but with this fake shipping boost. Yeah, that's for the best, because otherwise we're gonna have to spend 5 power for a priest at inefficient rates, and that is not ever a thing to be happy about doing. We grab this, then the hope is that we could have both of these power actions and really get off to a rocket start. So let's go ahead and do that one. Yes, I have eaten avocado and pineapple together in the same salsa. That's what I was trying to suggest. There we go. Yeah, that's very much sort of like a California style salsa. Is something like avocado, mango, and black beans and salt. Makes for a very good salsa mix. Okay, so like I said, I think over in this corner we're all going to trade enormous amounts of power, and the witches just won't get to have any. A little sad they didn't choose to upgrade this one first, because then we would have the most, like, some runaway enormous amount of power. As it is, we only get to have tons and tons of power. Okay, so what are possible fears here? There's a worry that if I let this slide right now, swarmlings could maybe be interested in getting a priest, or witches, because then they can actually hit this call bonus. Not too keen on that. I want to make sure that if anyone's hitting the call bonus, it's only witches and only taking by the crummiest of the income favors. So I think I'm happy to cut this away right now. This does pose some risk of us losing access to an Earth 1 favor, but that means swarmlings have to do a temple and not a stronghold start, and that seems very unlikely. That's a very underpowered swarmling opener. So if it happens, so be it. We'll make do somehow. We'll do something clever. Yeah, I think for safety's sake, we'll go ahead and cut the priest now. No? Okay. You like all salsa? I don't have the confidence to say that I like all salsa. Sorry. Okay, so we have, indeed, witches are taking the the stronghold opener line. So they won't be procuring favors until probably round 3 when a temple scores. Coffee and salsa sounds like a terrible mix, but also I'm not a huge coffee aficionado. We could have gotten more power out of this if we did the stronghold first, but it is very, very risky to let this slide away. So I guess we're going to find out whether the nomads make their stronghold opener or a temple line. It's a mystery, could go either way. I'm sort of a fan of doing the temple line just so that we can capitalize on this Earth 1 favor harder than other people in round 2. There's a lot of nicety in that. It also means if nomads go with the temple here, then they'll be taking the Earth 1 favor, and because with dwelling scoring round 2, this is an even atypically good board for it. And then Swarmlings could pick up the Earth 1 favor at end of round. Because if they make a stronghold start, it actually leads into a late temple in round 1. So we could very well miss our chance to have Earth 1 if we don't grab it. Okay, double dig from nomads. That's interesting. They're still going to be upgrading this, certainly. There's a bratwurst sausage place where I am. Do you know where I am so precisely? That would be slightly surprising to me. Okay, so we didn't get a dwelling build. Probably still looking to grab the Earth 1 in that instance. We are going to have to trip the trading post one time as we sail here. That's probably okay. We can look to cut this away, which will be somewhat problematic for nomads if they choose to start Stronghold. It will mean that they can't actually build further dwellings past that. It does involve us burning a lot of power tokens, though. We would be down at 7. That's probably okay as Alchemists, since we're very liable to upgrade digging later anyway. But there is a little bit of worry. We're not going to have our digging upgraded for this round, so we do need some places to dig. And if we cut this away, then we have the unfortunate circumstance where we can't, we don't have a use for all of those worker cubes anyway. We could build here, 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 but then we would have one extra worker banked and not a spot to drop a dwelling. So it may be the rational play here to upgrade this early. No, I don't like that, because I think we're very much gonna need all the power, or all the white workers that we can grab, like every single one we can get, if we're going to have, this, available to us if we want to build a stronghold on round 2. Which, it seems like we could go stronghold and use the power bonus from it to enact the double dig. So I guess I'm a fan of taking that route. That does mean we're burning a lot of power tokens, but we can do it. We are the Alchemists, we are powerful, huzzah. And like I said, this is going to pose some problems for other people. Definitely not something they're super happy about seeing. Swarmlings now, if they actually want to make their good open, they can only achieve the extra required worker by inefficient conversions, because this isn't available. And then they'll also have big problems getting enough workers on round 2. So this probably stuns Swarmlings the hardest. It may shut Nomads out of a Stronghold line entirely. Wait, is that right? No, Nomads got this starting card, so they actually do have the workers without it. Really, we're hitting the Nomads, or the Swarmlings with this course of action. So there is one scary thing that can happen. If Nomads upgrade Stronghold right now, and then we upgrade Shipping, then on their next move they can Sandstorm Terraform this tile. That would be really bad for us. Then we wouldn't be able to make our jump down the coast. But hopefully that's not how this plays out. I'm not overly worried about hiding it on BGA. If I was, I would have set it to something less specific, just in California. But I did put in my city. For better or worse. Alright, this is, yep, it is where we see the Stronghold exchange. So be it. Hopefully this is not Sandstorm, as I said. There are a number of reasons Nomads might choose to go here or here with the Sandstorm, or even somewhere out here. We'll just have to hope. But they definitely have the tempo to do it wherever. And we want our Earth 1 favor before we start building anyway. So I think it's fine for us to just go ahead and grab the temple and hope for the best in that somehow. Yep. Also, they don't get the trading post proc or the extra neighbor if they cut me off this spot. So we'll see what they do. We'll see. They may not even notice that I have the capability to jump here this turn. It is a little... You would have to take stock of my bonus card and my full resource allotment. Coffee and salsa really sounds like a vile mix. I have to say, I'm not a coffee person. I don't do caffeine of any type. It does not sit well with me. You hate coffee too? Yeah. If we get stuck and have this taken away from us, then we have to figure out what we're going to do. This is going to turn into a really bad opener. We do have the line available where we dig this the hard way and build, and then use the priest as a worker and build here. It's a lot less good than having the shipping up and taking all 3 of these, but it's a line, at least. It does something. It nails some important tiles for us. It was probably for the best to upgrade shipping before taking a shot at this. I don't know, if this comes together and we still get this tile, then we're just going to be over the moon with how powerful a start this was for us. You sold a copy of Terra Mystica. That's because you had 2 copies, right? I remain hopeful that that was the rationale. Alright, here we go. Some viewers may be thinking to themselves that, do the Swarmlings actually even want that Earth 1 favor anyway? Isn't the Water 1 just as good for them since they get so many trading post upgrades over the course of a game? It is their stronghold ability, right? Once per round they can upgrade to a trading post for free anywhere. The answer to that question is an emphatic no. Statistically, the Swarmlings are vastly stronger with the Earth one than with Water one, though obviously they prefer to catch both Earth one first, if possible. So, it's... I'm pretty happy to just sign off and say one person can't have this. It's probably going to be witches who can't have it. Maybe it'll be nomads. I'm kind of hoping that it's nomads, because I don't think the witches are in as great a shape. Okay, now nomads have a little more incentive to push this direction. They can try to cut this off. They can try to get a connection to this yellow hex also. And that's a really big deal for them if they can connect all the way around here. So hopefully they're going to sandstorm that tile. It's probably actually the best value for them, because then they could, they may well be able to take an early pass and then get a shot at this place before the witches can dig and build it. And if that happens, then it's really bad for witches. So I'm hopeful that that's what they're going to be doing here. But hard to say. If he builds this tile as his next action, then we are going to have some worry about what exactly is our next move, because we'll want to upgrade shipping for the good line, but then they'll still retain the sandstorm optionality on this tile, and that makes it even extra bad if they poach it away. Oh, Illusion, that's really hype. You own a game store? How is that? I could imagine... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Well, that sucks for us, but on the bright side, at least he did it before doing this one. So we could have fought against that and had a stronger line. It would have had to give up on some of the good possibilities. Really weird that the Nomads had no interest in building this on the same action, though. I'm not sure why that would be at all. Okay, so what can we do with this turn now? We can still build dwellings on both of these if we're interested in that. Another option, we could just upgrade this to trading post. Then in preparation for getting a stronghold. That's probably less good. It's probably even better to just bank all the resources, as sad as that is. And then with all the resources in tow, we can get the stronghold the next round, which will cap out our power, and then we can start double digging and building lots of dwellings. We could upgrade shipping one time in order to take this, and then double dig here and this tile, and then we could do build. That's a pretty good number of dwelling scores on this round. Do we have enough workers for all that? So we're only going to take an income of 2. And it will take 6 to get the stronghold out, so no. Not even a little. Okay, one option is skip on the temple on round 3 and get the stronghold then. That gets us a pretty slow, gloomy shop, though. We could do that. So then, if we upgrade shipping here, we will get to, If we upgrade shipping here, then we can probably have first pass. No, the witches will pass on their next move. The Swarmlings do have the power via inefficient conversions to spade and build a dwelling. They'll definitely use their spade, so we'll wind up moving second. Witches won't pass onto this card, though. So we can grab the score for shipping as well as the 3 power and a coin. Is that the best line here? I'm not worried about the witches poaching a bonus card that we need or interfering with the power actions we would want. It's just really, really lame to be passing in this position with all these resources when we could have had a much better turn. Okay, so how do we want to go about this? I think definitely we know we want the shipping upgrade. We're going to want it for as soon as we can get it in the next round. So it's probably right to make it now. Unless we want to build both dwellings. Then we just don't get as many dwellings for the turn after when it scores a lot. I think I'm inclined to upgrade shipping here. Wait, let me upgrade my shipping. Yeah. Okay. We have shipping. Our bonus card did not do all we hoped for us. I suppose it let us cash both of these power actions. Getting both of those kind of makes up for not having the dwellings this round. And then it does mean we get to score more in the next round. So this isn't like all bad by any stretch. We actually did get reasonable compensation, as terrible as this is gonna look when I pass on the next move. Yeah, I would imagine you have to work a lot, even if you didn't own the skateboard shop. I would think just working in retail, that involves lots and lots of work routinely. We will be going to 2 shipping on the next round, so we can make this jump to this tile. So we are interested in the shipping scoring. It's effectively like 3 power and 7 coins to take it. Swarmlings were forced into inefficient conversions, and this is the player just on rating that we're most worried about. So, that's pretty happy for us. Witches are going to receive an income of 2 power, so they will be unable to take a double dig action. They'll even be unable to take a single dig action. That's not true, actually. Nomads will build here, and that will leave them enough for single dig. Okay, that's a problem, because they're going to want that. And we want that. We want it a lot. We can hope that they don't take it, maybe? Maybe they won't, because they'll get caught in a race for the Earth 1 favor with nomads. This was actually a reason to... No, but I wouldn't have been able to pass this anyway. Okay, this is crazy that the nomads just aren't building these. I guess they're leaving it open to try and dwelling score next round. There's some rationale there. That means the witches will not have power to take a single dig action, nor will we. Okay, except, can we obtain it with this card? Maybe? Maybe? We'll see about that. So we could try to read points on the stronghold instead and have a ton of workers to execute a manual dig here. Because we're not about to absorb any power anytime soon. Unless the witches choose to upgrade this as their temple point. Which they might do if they want to dig here and preserve the town. So this is tricky juncture. We are definitely on the pass plan. It would be really nice if we had just 1 more point of power, somehow. But I don't see how that's feasibly going to happen for us. Especially, Swarmlings will cut away the power digs, for sure. Okay, well, we'll take this. We may have to dig the hard way. It's gonna suck. We'll get what we can this way. You just queued up and, oh, you're playing the Chaos Magicians? Well, I hope you win, Illusion, but I'm not super confident. It's usually not a winning strategy to jump in on Chaos Magicians. Okay, here's a crazy thing we could entertain. If we're gonna have to dig... Why would you upgrade this one of all... That pays off on the trading post. That's so much better than leaking me the one PowerPoint. Damn it, damn it. And then I would have been able to take this single dig, and we would have had a wonderful turn. Where are the Chaos Magicians? It's a mystery of some sort. This is such a bad choice by the witches, and it just, like, helps... It's worse for them because of this town scoring late in the game. And then it's, like, so good for the nomads, and of course it incidentally hurts us as things would happen. So that's pretty triggering, but not a lot we can do about it. I think there is a worry here if I upgrade digging first before digging this the hard way, then I'm not even gonna be able to get the 2 points of shipping to bridge this gap. So if I dig this the hard way, then I still build 1, 2, 3, and it sucks, but I think I have to do it. So let's go ahead and do it. This is such a large setback. I don't think we're in great shape anymore. If the witches hadn't made this terrible play for them, oh well. Nomads can build these, but they won't score as many points. They still don't have an Earth 1 favor. Yeah, it's definitely a conspiracy of some kind. Always people making moves that hurt us and hurt themselves more. Happens every game. We are going to exit this round with more points than other people, I believe. No, the Swarmlings will probably have the most. Yeah, so they clinch away the single dig. That does mean no digging for other peeps. Unless nomads want to dig the hard way, but they won't even score them so well as it does for us. So we'll just build. We are going to be in a rough spot. We really will be wanting to get our stronghold on round 3. We cannot delay on the gloomy shop for too long. Its digging power is going to be too much. It does too much work for us. Okay, we got a bump on the air cult from the witch player. So I think that's an interesting move. I guess they're looking to aim to score big in this round. It makes sense. They don't have the timing to try and score on this round because they don't have any priests yet. Okay, we'll go ahead and snap this away. Then we can go ahead and poach this as our last move after upgrading shipping once more. So that'll take 4 points for the build, 2 from the round scoring card, 2 from our favor. And then we'll also get to score some points for shipping upgrade, but only 3, and we're going to have to pay out 4 points for the money. So -1 for the shipping upgrade, and then we'll take 6 at round end. So in total, that's not bad. 6 and 4 minus 1, we'll have 9 more points. And Swarmlings are only getting paid power for this round bonus. It's definitely the weakest of all of them. Yeah, I did hear about Gaia Project having a site like that. Wait, you got a game with Orin, Cultists, Chaos Magicians, and Swarmlings? That's a little crazy stuff going on in your world, Illusion. Yeah, I may actually wind up playing Gaia Project if there's an online implementation. And in fact, if I get a few games under my belt first, it may even happen on stream at some point. So that's exciting. We'll wait and see. I can test out my theory that the ITAR are way too good, along with the Terrans. I know Illusion and his friend contest this claim, but they sure look pretty strong. So that's not quite true. Neuron Collider. Gaia Project is actually ++TM. A lot of coders miss on the subtle difference between the prefix and postfix increment operator. But the prefix one makes the increment prior to returning the value, whereas the postfix one does not. So if you think about that, Gaia Project being TM++ is actually the same as Gaia Project being one less than Terra Mystica. Okay. So what now? Yeah, still not absorbing any more power, but that's kind of an expected state until we can jump over here. So let's get over there. We're going to upgrade shipping. This is very much how we should have been ending after round 1. It's a real shame or not. Actually, I guess this does score better than the intended line, but it delays the stronghold so much, which is such a high power point for us. Yeah, definitely don't mix up your prefix and postfix increment operators. Though it rarely makes a difference, I admit. I think Swarmlings player made a big mistake playing it out how they did here. I think they should have speed built this and prior to using their stronghold upgrade on round 1 so that they would have the temple right here. And this would be a dwelling. Or it would be a trading post after this upgrade. So mad at you, witches. Alright, now we'll go... Oh, right. Get some coins. Okay, what we really want to do is pass on to the Swarmlings card. So unfortunately, I should have dug and built this in separate steps, because we want that... Oh, well, Swarmlings just passed right there. I guess that makes sense. They want this in the dwelling state for the worker income that's more important to them than the money, which they're going to have a lot of via all their trading posts. Okay. Hopefully, let's see, Nomads have a dwelling to build, they probably won't be passing, which means we probably can get the Swarmlings card, and that's very important to us. It's what's gonna allow us to build a stronghold on the next turn. And then proceed to score 4 points for it immediately. So yeah, super happy to jump onto that card this turn. And especially to prevent Nomads from having it, because they already have their stronghold. We don't want them taking those points. Yeah, so I think I probably will familiarize myself a bit more with Gaia Project. I'm saving your link, thanks for posting it, Neuron Collider, and I will, we'll see about in the future getting that game streamed. Maybe that will be our next target after we hit the fantastic ELO mark that we've been shooting for. So when we take this card, we should have 7 workers for the next round. That's enough to upgrade to Stronghold and then still build another dwelling. The hope would be that we could have the power absorbed to take the double dig action, and we could dig both of these, or maybe here and this tile instead. Really any two spots, and we'll put the gloomy shop in one and a dwelling in the other. No, actually we can't do that, because if we do the gloomy shop, we need to have 2 workers on hand for the dig upgrade cost. I take that back. So that means we're gloomy shopping in round 5, which is the round we would ideally want to finish our sanctuary. We're going to want to be very prompt about taking this space. Witches will maybe be slow to it because it's a double dig for them. But if it gets cut away from us, then we will need to take this one instead. And I don't think that's a possibility. Witches have their stronghold power. They'll probably be flying here relatively soon. It's going to make our life very hard connection-wise if we lose this space. And it will be really bad for the witches if we take this away. That said, I don't think really bad for the witches is a huge concern. They're definitely losing this game by a lot in present circumstances. Illusion, I have read the rule book for Twilight Struggle, that's it, and it was a long time ago. I don't think I could tell you that much. I'm sorry. My recollection of it is that there's a couple obviously overpowered races. The balance seems very terrible in it on the whole. Exciting game. It would have been nicer if they'd balanced it a bit better. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Twilight Imperium. I apologize. No, I have never played Twilight Struggle. Yep. Twilight Imperium, like you said. Okay. So I think on round 4 we can take this away from the witches. I don't know if it will actually persist that long. We don't need to take this one. We just need this one specifically. And we don't even have to take these immediately. We can just dig through either whatever's left there when the time comes. Just the problem is we'll want to gloomy shop to get our rank 3 shipping, because otherwise we have to pay a priest for it. And when we do that, then, we dig a gloomy shop here, we can instantly jump there. We just won't actually have access to gloomy shop until round 4. Actually, no, we could do it by inefficient conversions. When we cap our power with the stronghold build and then take this, we'll still have 3 left. But that gets us the gloomy shop down by exact count, and then we have no workers left to build the dwelling. So I guess it really is a round 4 entity. Good thing we cut away this from nomads. We just want to stay on these scoring cards ad infinitum. We could look at the trading post one, since the money is increasing on it. Like 3 money is effectively 3 points, and it's a big incentive to anyone else who wants to get there. We certainly keep the swarmlings down some by grabbing that, because this is a lot of points for them. They love the worker, and 3 coins is a huge bonus to any faction. So is Twilight Struggle, is that the Cold War simulating game? Or do I have that wrong? Okay, first act was witches, double digging here and here. That has the nicety that we are finally about to receive some power. Love receiving power. It may be in our best interests to cut this away. Well, of course, they would build this one first and prematurely found the town. Okay, so that's a little bit of an annoyance. This, unfortunately, is going to disappear to the swarmlings. So that's going to make digging this round really, really hard, too. Because the swarmlings more than anything need area. I guess they can't even dig onto this town with a single terraform. These are both doubles for them. So maybe they will just... Yeah, maybe they'll just take the cash. So they're not going to dig, nomads aren't going to dig, witches still have the option to dig. But there's not anything we can do about cutting that away yet. So where are we going to put our stronghold? I like placing it in this town, because witches are liable to come here quickly. And, you know, we'll hope to leech a little bit of power that way. Here we go. Upgrading to trading post. Maybe the witches don't take a single dig, but I would be shocked if they didn't. They will have to build here to have their preferred spot to use the single dig first, and then they could dig down here. We'll definitely try to get in the way of... Like, the hope is they're delaying this town for last, and we'll try to get in the way of that as much as is actually possible. So, if it's a Cold War simulation, you don't even get factions like the SSR, or USSR and United States. I would have assumed there were asymmetries between the player in that regard. Or am I mistaken about this? Really nothing has been going right for us this game, and it's like kind of a wonder that it still feels like we're in it, given all of that. But, you know, maybe we are. Maybe there's something here. Okay, they're gonna temple over there. Which favor will they be grabbing? That's the mystery. It's a little bit late with only 3 income rounds left to try an income favor, unless it hits a really nice cult bonus, but it won't even be able to hit the next one. So I would imagine they just grab the water favor. Yep, there it goes. We are going to want the water favor for huge point scoring in this round. There is some, like, crazy possibility here where we actually make this into a temple and take the water favor right away. Just because it'll score to do that this round. And then, you know, we can be guaranteed of sealing this off. But I don't know how worried I am about losing it. It does kind of look like the nomads aren't going to be getting another temple until round 4. Maybe we can still cut that? The swarmlings have sort of sealed their fate. They're definitely taking temples this round because they don't have meaningful ability to dig. And it would be super duper cool if the nomads would go ahead and cut this space away. Then the swarmlings will be in a lot of trouble for connecting. They probably will, because it's a double terraform for swarmlings. Then the issue is just, can they connect with a space over here and down around here? So this turns into a higher priority to dig. Okay. We do get a temple out of swarmlings, and a water favor disappears. Okay. So it's our move. The nomads don't actually have a possibility of poaching the water favor on the next move. It's not an option for them, but there is the, in 2 moves they could still do it. Right, they can still take, no, they don't actually have any power to spin up an extra worker, so they can't take the water favor at all this round. Unless they're granted some extra power, but I don't anticipate that happening. All their adjacencies are already maxed out and not going to get upgraded anymore. Sorry, I'm pausing to read these rules about Twilight Imperium. Sorry, Twilight Struggle. Gonna be some effort for me to not confuse these. I wonder if Swarmlings even realizes it's their turn. Because they surely don't want to make any conversions here. It would be really nice to upgrade this to Stronghold, then have witches build in here, and then we would have power to take the spade. But again, it's still dicey to know if that's actually what's going to happen. Witches have they have power to do some interesting things. They could look to use this and then upgrade and get a trading post or a temple here, which is what scores for the round. Then we would lose access to our water favor, and we're pretty happy about having a water favor. So, can it actually be right to delay our stronghold even more in the name of clay? And keep in mind, that loses us these 4 points to gain these 4 points. Just in the name of securing water favor? It seems not that likely to me that that's right, but it is a lot of points in round 5 where we could easily upgrade a large number of trading posts. Sorry, witches can't cut the water favor from us. Never mind. That's not a possibility. So we're gonna go ahead and jump on the stronghold. Yes, I know I need money. Stop making me convert before every action. Sheesh. We're gonna follow the script we originally said we were sticking to. Hopefully this build comes in before the next action. In which case we could actually go ahead and gloomy shop with our power. And then we would have to use the priest as a worker in doing that. That does cut down on coins that we can take at round's end. Twilight struggles in your top 5? Illusion, I thought I'd heard your top 5, and it included, at this point, doesn't it have like 7 or 8 games now? I do trust you to know your games pretty well if you have a gaming store. I did not? Okay, perhaps I did not. We can also obtain power for a dig via investing a priest in a cult. Or alternatively, we can just have all this power. Because yes. Okay, so the witches did not choose to take the dig. It's still there for us. We wasted a bunch of the 12 power from the stronghold because we weren't in a configuration where we could store more by burning. And that's unfortunate, but we do have a good line available now. So we convert 3 of this into a worker. Then we can take the single dig and gloomy shop here, and then use the priest as a worker to build on that tile. So that does actually as long as we can be prompt and hope to take our water 2 favor on the next round, or water 1 favor on the next round. We gotta hope, but we can at least secure this easy connection and then have space carved out for all the towns we want. So your top 5, let's see, I recollect that you had Through the Ages, Gaia Project. I don't know if I can name all of these. Okay. So I think we do want to take this while it exists. We are going to need to use a conversion first. Unfortunately, we can't run this, which is what we would really like. If we use this, then we are out of luck when it comes to power for the dig. And also there's a worry that swarmlings could try to cut dig. I know it doesn't give them any new landscape here unless they want this one, but even still. Let's just make the safe line to be sure we connect and screw the witches. We're not actually that worried about screwing the witches, but we're worried about having to go far out of our way if we lose these 2 spaces. So, we will, whoops, sorry, I need to convert a lot of money to make the shop play too. No, not that. This one. Go. And also this one, sheesh. This is a little clunky to do. Okay, I have the resources. Here I go. Gloomy shop. Exchange both. Our score is now not super great because we just had to fork over a lot of resources in a weird way. But it's okay. It's okay. We've established ourselves in a very good spot for doing the things that need to be done now. Witches are not going to be able to double terraform this, so I doubt they're going to make any move there, and we'll just go ahead and build right there. And then we have all the connections we need. It would be nice to take this one just so that a 3-shipping swarmling can't connect here, then here to join up with their bottom. But I think unless the swarmlings pass on their next move without the nomads passing on this move, then the nomads will cut this away via sandstorm. And the swarmlings also they've just been off to a very slow economic start. Let's hope we can race nomads to this favor next round. But unfortunately, we may well be passing behind them. Because I don't know how many more actions they have left in them beyond building this, and then we're gonna build, and then they'll pass in front of us, and we'll come in after. Illusion, if you're consistent with your top 5, I will try to make a guess. Okay, I think you said Through the Ages, Gaia Project, Dominant Species, Spirit Island, and I don't know the last one, I'm sorry. Were you the Gloomhaven lover in my chat? Maybe you were. Never played Spirit... Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, then I'm way off. I apologize. Okay, so what action was taken by nomads? They did just make the build. Their Sandstorm Innate has already been utilized. No, nomads actually have another action to use in the form of this bonus tile, raising 1 on a cult. So we should actually be able to pass in front of them, which means we can upgrade to a trading post, they hit the trading post, then we hit the temple and get the favor we want. Then we hit the sanctuary when it's worth 5 points. So all that actually works out pretty nicely. Okay, what happens next? I think next we take the all-important spot that we can't afford to lose. And there we are, witches. Good luck finishing a town in here now. Okay, so we're going to take 5 workers worth of income. That is not enough to get us to the sanctuary on the round it scores. In fact, it's not even close. It's 3 short. So how do we get that much? Nomads did pass in front without using their bonus card. That's really weird, but I guess it was very important to them to have this one. Maybe we will not procure the favor. We'll still make a pass at it. Okay. Extra weird witches didn't choose to fly here because they've got... I guess they can dig down this whole way for a connection. But, I mean, they should be a little cautious that this is 2 terraforms for me. So now I don't even have incentive to stick to the usual town structure here. In 2 terraforms, I can still acquire 2 spaces, same as terraforming these by coming here and then building this one. And then that's going to make them even more sad. That may be the course of action, actually. I think we're probably looking to cap our digs out next round. No, well, if we... Our top priority is procuring the temple. Nothing controversial in doing that. Swarmlings is now on all trading posts, which means they're not getting incomes of anything useful besides priests. Their priests are just workers. I think that's probably going to put them in a rough spot for the rest of the game. Right, they can't even just jam their priests for power on here, because they will run out of priests very quickly. I mean, I guess they can finish their sanctuary next round. Anyway, it is time for us to pass and take our 4 points from so doing. Swarmlings do have a lot of points, so we have a little ground to make up. Now we could take this for the extra worker. That misses out on tons of points from the shipping, because our shipping's capped, right? This is, you can look at it as 9 money or 9 points, either way. They both have the 1 coin on them and the 3 power. So would I rather have 9 points or a worker? I think 9 points should pretty uncontroversially be the goal here. That seems much, much stronger. It may preclude us from getting the sanctuary, but that's okay. That was only 5 points. This way is more. Okay, High Frontier, Twilight Struggle, Empire of the Sun, Paths of Glory, War of the Ring. Ah, War of the Ring. I should have known to guess that one, because we had a conversation about it. Yes, War of the Ring, definitely an interesting game. Would recommend it to people. So what can we do with our turn? What we want to do is aim for the temple and getting the water 1 favor. So the nomads are going to take 2 power income. That is going to put them in a position to take one of the all-important 7 money power action, the most broken power action in the game. They may want to cut that away first, unless the witches chose to pass the... Oh no, the nomads are in the leading pass spot, so if they take that first, as one might expect, because the witches have the power to do it behind them, and the swarmlings will have the power to do it behind them, like, everyone wants it but me. Including the nomads. So maybe they'll take that, and then that will give us our shot at Water 1, which they won't be able to fight from that juncture. It does take a lot of our workers for the round. We were set back considerably based on what happened in round 1. We maybe needed to play that a little tighter and then lose out on some points from Earth 1. Let's see. Swarmlings are collecting 2 workers. That makes sense because they don't gain workers anymore. Just because they have no dwellings. They have no real land to speak of. They're going to be in trouble moving into the later game. So their point lead, pretty fake at the moment. Really, the spot we're gunning for is nomads. They are the biggest threat to us by far right now. Witches we may even be able to cut off of getting a second town just by digging through here, which would be amazing if it happened. Alright, nomads, what are you leading with? You surely desire to lead with the money power action. Come on, can't I talk you into it? Please? We're gonna have to upgrade... they've gone up to trading post. Okay. That doesn't bode well for us. Because now the money power action's going to get cut away, and then they'll upgrade temple and take this last favor. So if that happens, we are not very interested anymore in procuring a favor if it can't be this one. The only other one that looks appealing out of this mess is Fire 2, and we can take that on the last round. So given that they're headed that route, what we may want to do is focus on cutting down here faster. And if we're going to do that, then we'll want to upgrade our digging first. So doing that also lets us jump our power up using our Strongholds passive. I think this is the way we go, and it's very unhappy because it means Nomads will be outscoring us in round 3. We'll have to hope we can catch up in round 6, but this is still really not a great situation. Okay, here we go. Jumping on this. So now with our digs, if the witches don't come here as their very next move, which they probably shouldn't, they should probably desire to cut down the power action. They're capped in power, and there's so many high, like, this is amazing for them right here. Even double dig, much better. Like, I don't think they're coming in here, but we're about to find out. We are definitely going to cut it from them if they don't. That'll give us enough power to run this action as the move after, and then we can do more naughty things like build here, cut the swarmlings around the top, so that they can only connect by digging this and then this. Oh my goodness, really? Really? Okay. No one wants to take these nutso actions? Do they think it's just gonna hang around for them or something? I mean, obviously they are under this belief. We may still be able to cut them by coming through these two, which that forces the witches to dig down through both of these, and that's much harder. That would necessitate that they, let's see, black and brown are double and triple terraforms for them respectively. Illusion, I don't think there's anything wrong with 2-player exclusive games. There's something very nice about turning things zero-sum, right? Like, constantly on stream you see me yell at players where I'm very frustrated because they've just made bad moves for themselves that also hurt me more than the other 2 players. And that can't happen in a zero-sum game. If I'm playing a 2-player game and someone makes a bad move, you're never going to see me complain about it, ever. Other than that I'm bored playing against someone so bad, because, like, it's either not actually a bad move for them, or alternatively, I'm just very happy to reap the results of their bad play. Also, what's up with the nomads not having cut this away yet? Take it! Make it go away from the swarmlings! Did we just see the double key town tile disappear? We did. Okay. Please hurry up and cut the swarmlings off. So our next move, probably digging this one, because no one's going to be interested in this power action while these 2 are still available. So we'll dig here, then we can take this, then we can dig through the spot that is obnoxious to the witches. Really rope home and force that we cannot get 4th place given how badly this game is going. We probably can't lose to the swarmlings, I don't think. It'd be a little surprising. But, like, the swarmlings have gotten to make multiple moves now without using this. And that's pretty... Like, they could double dig this, and why haven't the nomads just cut on that? Okay, so where are we headed? I guess we are digging this, and then building a dwelling here. So witches have the power to go ahead and dig this now, but at least we can force that on them. We want them to take the double dig so swarmlings can't have it. Or if they don't, we'll take this space and make them regret it. Like, someone's gonna get punished no matter what, unless they take this single dig. Which would be kind of weird when they have the power up to double dig instead. If you win as Chaos Magicians, then you get a virtual high five illusion. It's no easy task, certainly. Oh, I'm so mad about losing this one. Okay, I mean, I guess we know what we have to do here. It's just a matter of what the witches will do. We could dig this first, then take this power action, which saves us... Okay, they took the double dig and dug here. Where's the other site? Is it this one? No, this one. Interesting. Okay, they can still form a town on these three by upgrading to Sanctuary, but that's gonna take a lot of effort, and then they'll have these wasted buildings too, and these presumably won't connect to their network. I guess they can with 3 shipping by shipping up to this tile. Okay, single dig got jumped on by the swarmlings. They put it down here, so nomads, go on, sandstorm this. It's far and away your best choice. You still have your sandstorm up for the round. It's not like you're gonna forget about that. Puts us in a very rough spot to lose out on the Water 1 favor, but I guess that's the way of it this game. We've been very behind the blow ever since just the first move. That's diminished what we've been able to do every round subsequently, which is really hurting a lot. We're definitely gonna do badly on cults compared to everyone else, so it's sort of unthinkable how we're going to make up these points other than to do it on these scorings, and this is going to be very hard in round 5 without the water favor. Illusion, everyone always has problems in this game. No one gets to do everything. This is just not how it goes. How does their stronghold work? So it gives 2 worker income. It's actually a very cheap stronghold. The power on the Chaos Magician's stronghold, pay it twice. I'm not sure what you mean. The power on the Chaos Magician's stronghold only lets you get 2 actions in a row. There's no payment involved, like, unless the actions have costs, obviously. But all it does is just skip everyone for the round in between. Okay, so look what happened here. We don't have the ability to dig and build this unless we run the inefficient conversion. But now that the nomads are making their move, it's very clear they want to sandstorm this tile and town across here. So we can't let that happen. We have to cut both of them on this connection. And so we're going to do that right now. We'll take the inefficient conversion in order to have this space and then be a jerk to nomads and witches both. And that's just awesome. Okay, let's see. I'm also going to need money. No, this one. Is that right? Yes, that's correct. Here we go. Okay, nomads, now you have to sandstorm this because I give you no other choice. Oh, you already used your sandstorm. I guess I didn't have to do that. Because they weren't gonna terraform this by non-sandstorm means. So actually that just wound up wasting a worker that could have been invested elsewhere. Right? We could have taken the worker and dug here. But we would be 2 power tokens less. Okay, so it's only a worker. It's not snowballed into more than that. Thank goodness. Still sucks though. We should have paid more attention. I assumed they used one of these to terraform it. But actually, this got eaten up by the swarmlings. And then the nomads just used their stronghold terraforming ability. Even still, it's good that we make sure nomads can't cross this. Now, they'll just wind up digging these out. They're single digs for nomads, and witches will probably want this one, so they have 4 spots on this town. They can make their town still, but they'll have to go to effort to do it. And that's what we want. Neuron Collider, I'm a mean girl, okay? I'm terrible. I am a cold-hearted bitch, so I have to do these things. That said, I don't think we're winning this game. This is really a sorry state of affairs for us. Swarmlings are down a lot economically, but they're leading by so many points. And there is the nicety that, witches will get points for passing here, but who cares? We don't worry about witches. The nomads, when they pass, are probably taking very few points. And we will get 9. That's a lot. We want to move on to a scoring card, but there's a risk that we can't. Unless nomads pass here, which they're not going to on all these resources, then we can't grab this. So losing access to a round 5 scoring card definitely sucks. What will we take instead? Probably a worker 3 power 2 coins. It's a little crazy to think anything else could be better for us than that. Right, it's even strictly better than the spade card for us because a worker is a dig. It's a little more flexible than a dig. So this is just 3 power better. There's the temple, they're grabbing the favor. Yep, and it's gone. Okay. So our next favor is fire 2. Just gotta make sure we don't lose that, but I don't think we will. The swarmlings probably won't want it. Okay, our next action. We have nothing we can do. We are checking out here. At least we're finally getting a reasonable dwelling income. Where do we want to be in all this? Let's see. This is 3 coins and a cult step. The cult step, probably not gonna matter, actually. Because we won't be able to hit this goal unless we throw priests at the cult. I guess we can throw a priest in one of these slots and then get up to 4 using the cult step. So that translates into a worker around later. But this gives it to us now along with the power. I think this is a much better card for us. Yep, here we go. And that's a pretty solid card for anyone, really. So, happy to cut that away. Hopefully we can at least pass on to shipping for round 5. Or round 6. We only get 1 more bonus card boon. That's a real shame. So next round we want to be upgrading trading posts. Where will we do that? We'll probably dig here and then upgrade both of those, and we want to refrain upgrading these to score the 5-point town scoring in the last round. Swarmlings have not made a move on shipping. Actually, nobody has upgraded their shipping. So that means that we don't have to worry about losing this anytime in the near future. Really mad the nomads are just kind of like intentionally letting swarmlings through here. It's so hugely in their favor too to block this. Like how could they not be doing that? You know, they need an extra space for a town in here. And what are they gonna do? Take that one? Like, this is... it's very crippling to swarmlings, who have a pretty big point margin. They're one of the 3 contenders to win this, though we're a more distant contender. Illusion, I play a lot of 2-player games. In fact, my most played game, I've said it a lot on Bridge before, I was a professional Bridge player. That's not a 2-player game, it's a 4-player game. But it's always played 2-on-2, so it's a 2-entity scoring game, which has the same property in a 2-player game that I would find attractive. Which is to say that all bad play never screws you when opponents do it. Our power balls are going to look like 2 here, 5 here. That means we can't cut the double dig. We wouldn't want to anyway. This is just straight up better for us. If we take this action, then we're going to be looking at a total of, I guess, 8 workers for the round. So that's 3 TP upgrades and 2 digs, dwelling build. The digs give extra power, so then we can convert an extra worker, and presumably upgrade one of these to a trading post. That's a little sketchy. You know, you don't like paying out that many points to do it. Because we won't have any neighbors next to it, but there's not a great way to rectify that. Okay, nomads terraforming the hard way to get this space. Guess that makes some sense. They still need to sandstorm this one. Do it! You could say that, oh, but they could take this in a single terraform and finish the town anyway, and then they don't have to waste a sandstorm to do it. But it's not even a waste, right? Like, they already have their 3 town areas carved out. And this finishes in a single terraform too. So, like, where are they throwing their sandstorms? You gotta do it somewhere. You may as well pick this one. Be a jerk to people. Swarmlings may well lose network even if they don't get cut here, though. Okay, we saw Swarmlings use a bonus card to transform this. That's not shocking. They'll be looking for another spade to turn this blue on their next turn, and then they'll build here. So they actually made a mistake, the Swarmlings. They really should have... was that right? They've used 2 spades this turn, here and here. If they applied them both here, then they could have built the same stuff, but had access to build another space without using any transforms. And this is in a lot lower risk of this disappearing. I guess they're all super low. Like, the only one who could take them away is the nomads, but the nomads don't have shipping yet to cross the water, and even once they get it, they have to build across the water. You cannot sandstorm over the water. Okay, we're glad to see nomads had to come off of a scoring card, because the shipping doesn't score for anyone but us. So that means Swarmlings will have a scoring card, and Witches will, but who cares that much about the Witches? I think we've got them beat. 9 money and 5 workers and back-to-back round end bonuses. How exactly did you procure that illusion? Or are you talking about me? Because I certainly haven't gotten it back-to-back. I have a much worse card for this turn. It's very sad I could not get one of the point scoring bonus tiles. So far we've taken 19 points just off these bonus cards. That's an enormous fraction of our total. Which unfortunately is not going to be growing that much until the last round. We're going to have to really... That last round needs to be a blowout or we're in trouble. And unfortunately, as much of a blowout as it will be for us, the Nomads are going to achieve roughly the same. Okay, Swarmlings won the Air Cult. It's worrying, the Swarmlings, still. I mean, they can't do that much, and they haven't done that much. They're not taking the resources they need when they have no trading posts, and... No, okay, well now they have a trading post, but now they're back down to no dwellings. They're not taking the resources they need. And that's... we'll just have to hope that network score beats them out. Nomads, unfortunately, will have this spot to connect when they get to shipping. The Witches aren't going to cut that. That's a triple terraform for them. Now, we are first to act. What would we like to do? We can do a lot of things. This is certainly the highest value thing that we can do for us. If we want to hurt other people more, we can punish the Swarmlings fiercely by taking this. The hope is that the Witches will have the wisdom to take this, because the Witches need it more badly. But this it's kind of like spending 4 power for 7 points for us. I think we are going to be spending out a lot of money this turn to the trading post upgrades, which will get pretty expensive. But I think this is probably the more needed action. Especially if we are plotting to win on area scoring, which I think we have to be, then this is where we need to head. So let's go ahead and procure that. Unless, is there a cult that's a higher priority for us to invest in? Not really. We can make sure we beat Nomads on air if we invest right now. That's it. It's better to just lock that down. Illusion, that is a really costly mistake. Really, really costly. That's on the level of bad of our turn 1 in this. Yeah, you have every right to be bummed. Okay. Super glad to see Nomads do this, finally. It took them considerably longer than it should have, I think. Now Swarmlings are just going to be unable to connect unless they get at least 2 shipping. And 2 shipping's still a bad deal, because then they have to build here and here. 3 shipping will let them connect here and here. But I'm going to take this away. I'm not that nice. It is actually possible we could eat this up if the Witches, for some reason, don't take it here. They would be absolutely insane not to. Okay, there it goes. So now Witches and Swarmlings have both been kind of mowed down. They're both just trapped in a very unhappy game. And I mean, so are we, but I think we have a little more promise moving forward. Okay, Swarmlings terraforming the hard way. I guess that's a thing they can do, and they're just gonna have to spend their power the inefficient way for money to keep playing out the rest of the turn. If they build here, they can't even avoid founding the town until the next round, unless they skip their free trading post upgrade. It's like really somewhat unthinkable. So what all do we want to do? We don't have to cut this yet, because the Swarmlings sure aren't about to take it. Trading posts. We definitely want one here, so we have a second adjacency for cheaper upgrades. We don't want to get one in here, it will form a complete town. I think... Yeah, okay, it's pretty safe to just go ahead and dig this next. That gives us... We know we want to do it this turn, and that gives us the most power heading forward into the next action in case we have to cut away some power action. The one worry would be if we need to race to take a Fire 2 favor, but I don't think that's a big problem. The Nomads are going to be situated to complete all their towns without a Fire 2 favor, and the Swarmlings really, really have no use for that favor at all. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. In we go. Yeah, that's a really costly mistake, right? Especially, like, Chaos Magicians, you can come by power pretty easily with because you get so much income of it from favors oftentimes. So you just think, like, 8 power income for a dig versus 3 workers, which is, 2 workers can be gotten at the really favorable exchange rate if you compete for the action on the 8 power income. It's not a good state of affairs. I'm really sorry that happened to you. It sucks to have the misclick. We're gonna see a bunch of TP upgrades down here. Pretty happy to have left this as a single dwelling so that we can capture them for without paying points. We can get the power. So we really don't want to be paying points at this juncture in the game, except to turn it into money, which is maybe high value enough to justify it. I do think we may well be interested in cutting this space as soon as Nomads attempt to upgrade their shipping, just because we can smash them on area if we take it away. Otherwise, I guess they could take this one, but this one requires a triple terraform for them. Unless, you could say, well, can't they use their sandstorm? Yes, but you can't sandstorm over water. So they could only do that if they got on one of these spaces to begin with, and that's a triple terraform for them, and that's a double, and it's all just a big mess for them to connect if we cut this space. Very, very hard. So as soon as they start making moves in that direction on the last round, we're just gonna be like, ha! Gotcha! Build right here. Which is extra good. We're gonna make them do the shipping upgrade first, so that it then turns out to be wasted. This is a very large frustration, though, that, like, everyone's gonna pull up on us so much this round, because they can get so many trading posts that we can't. The Swarmlings can take 2. That's it. But, so that's not as bad as the Witches and Nomads who are really gonna pull ahead on us. But it is what it is. First on every cult track is good, but are you actually going to end the game that way? It's pretty rare that you win them all. Just because someone at the end is going to, like, grab the Earth 3 favor and sail past you. It's the usual state of affairs. You probably win at most 3 cults. But there is some crazy world where you're up enough on them Spot 10 in 2 and 9 in another. Okay. But how far are they behind you on the 9? And then what's the state of the 4th cult track? Like, you could win them all, but even still, hearing that favorable evidence you've just provided, I am a little doubtful. Alright, what did we just see? Okay. Swarmling favor action to take rank 10 here. Things we need to do. We need to start upgrading trading posts while it scores, and we're very happy to do those. I don't think we have the ability to take this action. I don't think we want to. That wastes power when inefficient conversions for the worker are actually even better for us dig-wise. But is that high enough value just to take it from the swarmlings? I'm not super worried because I don't think they're gonna have any meaningful way to found Town 3. And they may even have trouble avoiding getting Town 2 in this round, and then they won't have any town scoring in the next. So, yeah, I think it's fine for us to just go ahead and start upgrading our trading posts right now. Let's do that here next. Yep, that seems alright. And we'll upgrade another one. We'll still have 3 workers, but we can easily make that 4 via taking a dig and then running a conversion. We also gained 1 power without having to pay any points. That's super lovely. It's actually like a little telling. We're closer to the Nomad score than it looked like we might have been. Unfortunately, if we'd gained 2 power by taking a dig last round, we could be power capped and gain a free one here. But I definitely don't think we want to pay that many points for this. That's really not worth it. Oh no, sorry, we would have needed 2 digs to power cap ourselves. That wasn't happening. Okay, witches still have their stronghold power for this round and the next. Probably they're gonna fly here because they need it to connect up. Alright, they take this and then they get 3 shipping. Then that forces nomads, when we cut this space, they'll have to terraform one of these and then sandstorm the other. So we'd at least, like, engender some effort there. That does save them out on shipping, but if they upgrade the second point of shipping at any point, then we insta-cut this from them. I need to think about that bridge. I'm sorry, why do I need to think? Yes. Oh, yes. You're right, I need a bridge here. That is really useful of you to point out. I'm not too worried about getting it right now. And the reason for that is that nobody else needs a bridge at all. So no one's going to start hating it yet. Because, you know, if they hated it in the next round, it would be bad for me. But if they hate it this round, then it's just like, whatever, I'll take it the next. Because it doesn't look like anybody needs a bridge until game end. So still not too worried on that. But it is definitely a thing I'm going to need. You're correct there. If I steal their connection? I don't know. Well, you think they'll just immediately turn around? Like, I must spite you. It doesn't even steal their connection is the thing, because I don't have the power to block them from connecting. But if they, like, are a little uncautious about doing it, I can block it. They really need to have their head in the right place and be cognizant of the fact that I can make this disappear without it being too costly to me. So things I can do. I probably, again, I don't really need to burn power tokens for the bridge. I'm probably, since I know I need to dig a tile and then build just for lack of other things to do this round. Alright, then I can end having 3 trading posts, but I'll dig a dwelling and build. So I may as well do that now so that the bridge is then available to me without burning any power tokens. And this does seem like the logical one to cut away. There's not too much worry here. No one's really going to be interested in taking that. No one even has the capability to take either of these, I guess. So I guess it could be either or. Maybe this is the better one, the rationale being that I can use a sanctuary here in order to complete this. So I will proceed to do that. Dig, build, then I can build a bridge in here. I'll still have 3 workers left. That upgrades a trading post. And I may be able to do more from there. I could try to upgrade another trading post too, but there's no way I could upgrade 3 trading posts without doing the dig. I mean, I guess I could dig and build a dwelling here. And then if I forego the bridge, I can actually do all of the trading post upgrades that I would want this round. It does become possible. But every trading post upgrade past this second one is minus so many points because I have to pay the expensive price. So I am, in the end, less thrilled about doing that, right? Going past 2 probably isn't a point profit regardless. So I'm going to head to this slot right now. Now we can look to take the bridge next without burning power tokens. And then that's going to set us up so that... Okay. Nomad's going up this cult. These are still both open. We can secure that we get, 3rd place instead of last by jamming a priest in either one. How many priests are in the Swarmling's supply? They must be getting capped every round. In fact, they got capped this last round already. And that's just getting worse moving forward. They can't actually take any priests at all. I mean, they can spend their priests as workers and then reclaim them. Or they can upgrade shipping and reclaim them. But they're getting way less than their priest income based on how they did this. Really have set themselves up poorly. Okay. Witches did fly here. That's something. So automatically that makes this a little more effort for Nomad Connection once we go ahead and take this, which we will do if they upgrade their shipping to 2 at any point. That means we gotta stay ready with a dwelling. But that shouldn't be too hard. We will end the round with dwellings in position. What town tiles are we going to be looking at? So probably just high scoring ones because we don't actually need the resources for much of anything. Unless we could instead choose to need a lot of resources and have a very ambitious next round. And then take this air favor instead of the fire one. But the air favor is only going to score like 3 points. I'm a lot less interested in that, especially when the fire one almost just makes up those points on battling for the cult in a contested position. So, yeah. I think definitely the fire 2 line. Things I want, I still want my bridge. Give me my bridge. Ah, there it is. I called it. no one wins all 3 or all 4 cults, except for when they do, but it's not very common. I swear. Okay, I could have cinched this last priest spot just to try and be ahead of nomads on it. But using priests in fire actually has pretty good point returns too, so I wouldn't even, be upset if this disappeared. It's not even clear that this is where I want to invest my efforts. These are both fine. I may have desire to hold the priest into the last round, just so I can make sure I throw them both in the same one of these cults, and I obviously won't win either one, but it would be cool to take second somewhere. You gotta go for that third town illusion. Third town is actually really hard with the Chaos Magicians, but, okay. It's started. Nomads have 1 shipping. Nomads do not have the power to obtain 2 shipping. Not this round. But, it's a thing that they could get. Okay, we're gonna decline this. I definitely don't think the power is worth it at this juncture. Because we don't want to be spending points for resources, because as soon as we snap up this Fire 2 favor, it's just immediately going to found so much town-wise for us. We're going to have so many more resources than we need to finish out everything. Alright, we're even going to end with this in here as a trading... it's going to be a trading house, so as soon as we upgrade Sanctuary at the start of the next round, it's just like, boom! Or, sorry, not this one instantly, but 1, 2, both founded, then on the next move we can do that. Okay, double dig from Swarmlings, just because, like I said, they need to dig a dwelling somewhere else or they can't get this town scoring at all. So, embarrassingly, they have to, upgrade a wasted trading house here. They're really not in happy straits. +3 air tile? That's, I would have guessed it was the +3 air tile, actually, if you had pressed me to guess which cult you lost. And the reason is that a lot of your extra cult oomph comes out of taking lots of favors. And if you're taking lots of favors as Chaos Magicians, what are you gonna pick? Well, the water ones are both good, the earth ones are both good, the fire ones are both good, and the air ones both suck. I mean, the 4 power one does not suck as much. The air one really sucks. Okay, we do need this trading house upgraded. We have to figure out how we want to go about paying for it, though. So, there's a world on this where we pay 1 point and 1 power, or we could pay a worker and a power, or we could pay 2 power by burning power. Burn a token. And I think I like the burn a token line the best. Yeah, that definitely seems like it's the strongest course of action. So we don't want to be paying our precious points here. That gives us an extra worker going into the next round, which is even better for being able to cut this at a moment's notice. Okay, I'll upgrade this one. Then I'll have 7 workers, or 8 workers for the next round, because I'll bank 1, I'll take 7 income, and I will gain 10 money income also, so that has its own nicety. I maybe don't have to build a sanctuary here. That's probably lower value than... no, but it's dicey not to, because otherwise we can't cut the nomad's area. You know, we never want to come off that possibility. Okay, let's go ahead and build this. You took the 4 power one on your temple level 3. Oh, okay, on your sanctuary you took the 4 power one. Yes, Chaos Magicians are the one faction that will get this tile routinely. But the thing is, I knew that you weren't going to get both, because this one is really bad. There's like, in contrast, you were basically guaranteed to have taken Fire 3, Earth 1, and Earth 2. So there's also another effect, which is which ones would you have been most likely to intentionally spend efforts raising your cult level for the cult rewards. And when you think about it from that angle, the best cult rewards are definitely come in Earth, and I guess probably ranked. It goes like Earth, Air, Water, Fire, in that order. Maybe not, actually. Fire may be stronger than water, just because the 2 for a worker is a very strong one, even if the 4 for 4 power is the worst. Okay, nomads have speed passed onto the shipping card. That sucks, because we need that card. That does tell me they're going to be upgrading their shipping more than they have, and as soon as it goes to 2, again, we're grabbing this. Not going to think twice about that. Really, maybe we should have just waited on the bridge under the rationale that we needed to pass faster and gain the shipping card. It's actively really bad to have lost it. Because Swarmlings, they still have an action pending. They're going to take their Stronghold action here while it scores more points. And the Witches, I can't imagine they're passing here, are they? It seems unlikely. They just have so much stuff. Yeah, okay, Priest's going down in water, sure. We need someone to pass off a scoring card, though, so we are gonna stall another round by throwing a Priest in a cult. And then if we have to after that, we'll stall another round by using this worker to dig this space. Like, we're gonna stall fiercely to make sure we get some kind of point card here. We can't afford to not at this juncture. And Swarmlings can take 2 actions, but we can take 2 behind them. So I think we're okay to outlast Swarmlings and get their card. Hard to say when the Witches will pass. They're in a messy spot. Okay, it's to me, so I have to invest somewhere. And I think best returns definitely looks like fire, since we're jumping up on 2 people here. So in it goes. We actually... No, I was thinking if I had done this prior to burning the one for the gold on the trading post upgrade, I wouldn't have had to burn one, but that's not true. I actually had power in all 3 bowls, so I still would have needed to execute a burn. Swarmlings are surely the neck. They're gonna do something here, right? Invest a priest? Well, they could actually pass. Either way, I'm in the chair behind the Swarmlings, so I know I can get their card, which is good. Because I prefer their card to the Witch's card. Okay, Swarmlings did invest Priest. Where did they put it? They invested one on Cult of Earth to make sure nomads can't sail past them with a final favor. Okay, well, I need to stall another move. Swarmlings have no power to produce anything, and 3 workers actually doesn't do anything for them except inefficient dig. which they're probably not going to do, I think I can attribute a reasonable degree of confidence. So I'm just going to go dig. Dug. And again, we're just doing this purely to stall for the Swarmling bonus card. It's very critical that we get a scoring bonus card. We wanted the one that the Nomads took, and sadly, it is not available to us. Please pass here, Swarmlings. Don't find anything else to do. You might think, well, can't they build a dwelling here on this configuration? No, they can't. Swarmlings have to pay an arm and a leg for all their stuff. Their dwellings cost 2 workers and 3 coins. So, again, their only legal action here is to point an inefficient dig somewhere, and they don't even have shipping, so, like, basically they'd be digging this tile, this brown one. And they don't even dig it blue. They just kind of throw away 3 workers aimlessly, is the bottom line on what's going to happen if they do that. And then we will be sad, because someone else has done something very suboptimal that screws us along with them. Illusion, I do have to say, in retort to you, that I think using reason to justify taking the Chaos Magicians is something of a weak position. Sorry, but that is how it be. So we're going to take in only 2 power income. That does put us at 6 in Bull 2. So, 1 dig off of being able to cash this action that we like so much. We'll see how this unfolds. There's a lot we need to pay attention to next round, but the biggest thing is just making sure as soon as the Nomads get their 2 shipping, we are taking this away. Then that's going to make them... They'll need to produce a terraform here, 2 terraforms here, and a sandstorm there. That's what will be required to... or actually, I guess they can do terraform here, 2 terraforms here, sandstorm here, but then they have to build twice instead. They have the buildings available in stock to do this. Either way, it results in them having to spend out 3 terraforms next turn on top of their sandstorm. That's very taxing. Okay, Swarmlings did indeed pass ahead of us, and now we are happy to jump on their card. Gimme. Does give us a little more incentive to make a sanctuary here. I mean, because we do need to take a fire to favor anyway. So rather than doing it through a temple or more dwellings or whatever, we probably want to do it through a sanctuary, just on the rationale that now sanctuary scores 4 points on this bonus card. There's one reason the shipping one was a lot better, there's more flexibility there. But, hey, we get 2 workers out of this deal. So we're going to head into the next round with 9 workers and 10 coins, and way too few points. Though, by some mysterious mystery, we're somehow 2 points ahead of Nomads. I don't know how. And again, I think they're our only real contention. You look at what's happening next round, witches will found a town, Swarmlings will found a town, and Nomads and I will both found 3 on a town scoring round. So the 2 of us should just sail ahead of these people. Though there is the worry, again, with Swarmlings, that they have a lot of points as it is, and they're doing real well on these cults, even if their area is a guaranteed last. So, hard to count Swarmlings out completely. Well, of course your final scoring is really strong, Illusion. You're the Chaos Magicians winning 3 cults. If you win with that massive misclick on the Chaos Magicians, that's a lot of cred right there. That is no easy feat. I wish you luck. Okay. Ooh, witches didn't jump on a scorecard either. So, again, Nomads and I scoring way more this round, and we're the only two people on scoring bonus tiles. So, that's, we can hope. Alright, 2 spades from Swarmlings. Again, they just have nowhere meaningful to put them, so it goes here. Which is just the next, at this point, just any spot is equally good for their construction. Okay. What happened? First chair, Nomads cut away the money. No surprises. We do need to be cognizant of their shipping. It is still at rank 1. Still at rank 1 means we can go ahead and get our first pick on the towns if we want. If we just upgrade this right now, we will found 2 of them. And what towns do we want? So 9 points and a priest looks like a pretty good bet. There's also, we could get double cult bumps twice, but I don't think that helps us in a super winning spot cult-wise. I think, who would be interested in that? Nomads actually might be a little interested in it. Nomads can't compete on the cults as much as they look, because they're going to be upping their shipping. Both for connection's sake, and also because they have, they have the shipping bonus card. If we upgrade our sanctuary, we retain 5 workers, we still keep a dwelling out. So that is enough for us to still cut this. I think that's fine. I think we're content with this state of affairs. Let's go ahead and do that right now before anything too naughty can happen, because no one can reach this space here. We don't have any pressing power actions to take until after we gain a couple more power. No, Nomads are not on 2 shipping, they are on 1 shipping. I'm keeping an eye on this like a hawk. Okay, I must take a favor tile. Don't mind if I grab this one. Yikes. Found a town. Okay, I actually have to found 2 towns, here and here. Again, 9 points and a priest looks solid, but, there is a very real worry here that, the scoring towns, or that I can't use all my priests. I could probably make use of another priest. I could even try to win fire this way. So let's go ahead and grab one of them. Yes, I will found that town. And then, for another option, let's see, I have a simple dwelling build here to get my last town. And, all my other stuff is just, better off in resources at game's end. Which is a sad state of affairs, but whatever. Are we looking to use this, again? So, again, there's not a lot of slots down here, but maybe we can make our move on them early because we have no pressure to do much else. I think I probably want this, and I probably want an 11 town. No, actually. To maximize my chances of beating out Swarmlings, I should take one of the on the red cult, I should take the all cult boost option right now. That also moves me ahead of Nomads on a couple other, and they're my prime contenders. So, here this goes. And then, conversions. I don't want to run any of them. I like staying in a power-capped state, or as close to power-capped as I can in the end. Ideally, you want to get it so you can only accept 1 power, so anything anyone does adjacent to you is just free power without paying points. You won 3 cult tracks and town size. By town size, do you mean largest network? If you won all that, you surely crushed this game. I would have trouble imagining anything else. Okay, good on you. Nice work. Alright. We can contemplate the mix-up of grabbing this other cult thing for our last action. Okay, I don't know why the witches wouldn't use the single dig power action to dig that and instead spent 3 workers, but whatever. Just whatever, who cares? It's hard to know what they're doing. They already have a fire 2 favor, so they've scored this now. They took away the priest option. So our next move is definitely wedging a priest on this cult. We want to get up here, try and take down swarmlings on it. It may be a little tricky because swarmlings have the option to grab a fire 3 favor. In fact, it's... Actually, no. Swarmlings, as always, as has been the theme over the many rounds, swarmlings have no resources. They need 3 workers and 6 coins to upgrade a temple. And they have that, but they only barely have that. So that's most of their round. Then they can't get the extra dwelling. I don't know how much they care about that. We have very real shots at beating the swarmlings, but our next action is cutting this cult. Yeah, Illusion, you ask a very fair question about what they're doing. Okay, we have seen a temple upgrade from Nomads. That's going to give them a favor. What are they taking? Okay, they've grabbed Fire 2. That's going to instantly found 2 towns for them, here and here. Okay, let's see what town tiles they get. We're hoping we can keep one of these 2 open to us, because the ones that just pay resources are actually not very good at this juncture. We don't need the resources. I think there's a real chance they take the shipping upgrade tile in among their 2, though. Because, again, they are on the shipping bonus card, so this is, like, secretly actually has a pretty high point value on it, because they will get the points from the shipping upgrade, and then 3 more for their bonus card. That is true, Illusion, but it's actually kind of a weird artifact of the scoring, right? Where, like, a lot of what you are scoring for is building stuff. So, it's... Okay, Nomads took money. And still not shipping. So Nomads have a ton of resources, but they're still at rank 1 shipping. Keeping careful track of this. So I think the effect is actually less that you need network size to win the game, and more that, like, network size beyond being worth points, the things you did to get it are all super strongly correlated with having points. So that's kind of why that effect exists as powerfully as it does. And you actually do see sometimes people completely foregoing connecting the network because it's too hard. But they only do it with factions that can make a lot of points through some innate faction engine. So mostly you're only looking at, like, engineers and darklings that could do it. It's conceivably possible, though, that dwarves play that way. Oh, you're saying playing well equals good. Yep, okay, that's what I'm saying. That is the same claim I'm trying to make, that it's not as unidirectional as good network size scores points. Okay, Swarmlings, founding a town. Let's see what they take. This is their last town tile of the game, for sure. Just as the witches have no more town tiles, and the nomads have only 1. So we're kind of, you know, okay, they took 11 points. So now we're very much interested in the cult bumps, I guess. That's a little bit weird. That they wanted the 11.1. I guess they have so little else to do, so maybe not that surprising. Now what do I have to do? Nomads still don't have the shipping to build here. So I'm still in the clear to go ahead and lodge a priest in this slot, because we know, well, So Nomads can dig build here. they actually might have to do it the hard way. They're not getting the power they need. So they dig the hard way, that even make their position worse for connecting once we cut this. I think we can just build on here and found our last town while there's an option to take a higher scoring town tile. Because we don't actually, again, we don't have a very strong need for any of these resources. And the shipping one doesn't give us any points, really. So we can, if we grab the all-cult boost again, that's a little more insurance on winning fire against swarmlings. But only a little. They still have the ability to found a temple and go +3. So we may need to take this now as our highest priority action. But I don't want to lose this town tile to the nomads, who can then even up in 2 cults with us and gain optionality to contest here. So I think I want to make... Yeah, let's... I think it's in our best interest to go ahead and secure the town, as long as we keep a dwelling in the bank so we can cut this, always. Do I have to run a conversion first? Going up 1 on every cult is going to produce 1, 2, 3, 4 power. That's more than I can accept under current circumstances, so it's a good thing we checked. We have to make a coin, and now we can take this tile. We've also, no conversions for me. We've also hit the ideal power cap state where anything that anyone does adjacent to us can only ever give us power for free without having to pay. So we're super thrilled about that. Oh, Neuron Collider, I actually didn't see your comment, I swear, before making that adjustment, but I'm glad we both spotted the same thing. And in fact it happened here. Witches have dug to this tile, and that's going to give us the free power. So, glad we capped ourselves properly. We also, now we've kind of pulled more on par with Swarmlings points-wise. They are going to beat us in cults, but, you know, hopefully our network size will carry us. We may well win network by cutting the Nomads hard. So Nomads still haven't absorbed the power to take one of these, so if they have to dig the hard way, then they're actually screwed out of a connection for good when we attack this space. So that's super thrilling, again. And witches have the power to take these digs, so witches are actually going to dig and put dwelling here, and they'll form another town. They have the dwelling to do it with, so that's definitely their course of action. This makes... They get another town, and then they get 5 for the round bonus, and then 5 for their innate power. So I guess they did still manage a triple town, but at the very least, we'll have cut them off of network too by coming in here, because let's see, how much shipping do they need to connect? I guess they only need 2. That is a possibility for them with their 2 priests and the power, and they... Yep, okay. So witches can connect. That's good for us. We actually want witches to connect. And the reason we want them to connect is that we want them to steal points away from the nomads. We want the nomads to take 3rd for area instead of 2nd. Okay. Nomads are powering up on the exchange track. That's not that surprising, actually, because they have to do... They don't have a very efficient way to convert resources to points except powering on exchange track. And, yeah, okay. Okay. I buy it. Thanks to Neuron, I have a chance to win. Hey you! I only would have lost out on 1 point of power, okay? Actually 2, because I would have, not been able to accept the free one. So effectively I got 1 coin out of Neuron's statement, except I spotted it myself anyway. So, yeah. I know that my viewers are very smart, because most of you are board game players. You're testing your strategic skills constantly. But just because you are very smart does not necessarily mean that you saw something that I didn't. I, too, am very smart. We can all be smart here. Damn it. Okay. What do I want? Things I may want include fighting down these spots. We know Swarmlings can still build a temple, and I want to, wrap up that I can win this. I could try to tie witches here for second, but that would be a poor choice because they have this bonus tile. They'll just sail one past me. And I don't think there's much point scrapping elsewhere. We can look to secure this third priest, but I think it's more important that we just get these slots taken away. Nomads, still on one shipping. We're going to check it every time. So let's just get up there on fire. Well, that's a thing. I may want to spend a power as a coin, so I can accept power in increments of 1, but I don't know where I would get it, except to have an upgrade around here somewhere. So that seems unlikely to matter, but it's also not gonna hurt us. Spend it as a coin, and get in there, priesty. The only other action we might really be interested in, besides cutting this after he upgrades his shipping and wastes resources on it, is, we may want to procure a temple and take the Air 1 favor, because that could be worth 2 points. Then again, the resources are worth more at final scoring, so actually that's not even good. We would only want to procure a temple to grab a favor, and maybe we could advance enough that would matter. Again, not really... Well, actually, witches are about to score a hefty chunk here. Our network size and cults are very much going to matter in this, so maybe advancing past someone is a thing of relevance. I know I could have cut the single dig from the witches, but they had enough power to double dig anyway, so wasn't super worried on we can't really deny it efficiently. And besides, they could even waste 3 workers and dig the hard way if they had to. They would happily do that. Because really their only earmarked resources are that they need 2 shipping upgrades from this point. Once they do that, they'll have, Okay, well there's 1 shipping upgrade. Yeah, and they need another shipping upgrade. And then anything past that is just kind of dirtling around, trading resources for points at sketchy exchange rates versus final scoring. Illusion, you can try. You can try. Who knows if you will actually wind up showing me anything? Hard to say. So nomads have turbo digs now. And they are going to go ahead and dig this space and found a town. And because they have so few priests, I would imagine that entails them upgrading shipping via the town tile, because nothing else here is really worth many points. We saw to that. Okay. Swarmlings coming up behind us. They can tie us by using this favor. I'm not interested in the tie. I think we're happy to spend our priest and just ensure that we win. And that's our next action, because we don't have anything better to do. So, money. Swarmlings could take inefficient conversion for I guess they can't really get up into actions unless they spend all their power as money and then upgrade a temple to take a fire 3 favor, but they could do it, and we're not going to give them that shot. So we have to unpower cap ourselves, and then we will throw the priest right here. Huzzah! I am victorious on fire. And again, nomads still have 1 shipping. The races that most aggressively upgrade digging, in order. Halflings should do it 100% of games. Alchemists should do it most of their games. By most, I'm talking about 80%. Those are the 2 biggest aggressive dig upgraders. Then there's a class of 4 races that can optionally choose to upgrade their digs. By this I mean really upgrading digs for more things than just scoring points, to be clear. Anyone can upgrade their digs in the last round to take 6 points. The optional dig upgraders are swarmlings, dwarves, swarmlings, dwarves, witches, and chaos magicians. And I can sort of move down the list and explain why all those people have some incentive to do it, but not as much as halflings or the chaos, not as much as halflings or alchemists. But first let me answer your how aggressively do they upgrade them. So the answer on how aggressively, is basically, alchemists are going to want to do it in the middle of the game, because they need to get their stronghold first. It's sort of non-obvious why they need to get their stronghold first, but the reason is it's a prereq on the Gloomy Workshop, which offers a priest discount on dig upgrades, along with a priest discount on ship upgrades. So they really want to do those that way. So they need to hit stronghold before that, so they'll do it in the mid-game. For halflings, the answer is you only need to have your digging upgraded by the round that spades score, which is either round 3 or 4, because if spades don't score on round 3 or 4 and you're playing the halflings, you messed up. Okay, so Nomad's still in the tank about the town tile they want. And they still can theoretically upgrade their shipping, but without any resources at all, but then they don't have enough to build the dwelling. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see which route they take here. They could take, probably their best is to take the money. Oh, interesting, they took power. Okay, so they are capped out of using... Why would they take power? That doesn't make sense. They're capped out of using the double dig. And the single dig is just as good as a worker, so 7 points and 2 workers is a much better rate than 6 points and 1 worker and a coin is what that equates to. So the only way they can justify it is they wanted the power to take this action, and we're not going to let them have it. When it comes back to me, I'm going to cut this action because they still have 1 chip-in, and then they're going to feel very silly for taking a suboptimal town tile, and we're not even sad to grab this, really. I guess this 4 power could be 4 coins, which is 2 points at end of game, because we can use our Alchemist power to back convert as well. But I think we're happy enough to get workers. Workers allow me to... Well, they let me expand my network by much more, which is the thing we are very really fighting for. I think witches are going to be done at 4 on their card. Is that true? I guess we're about to find out, but they don't have resources for much else. Yeah, okay, they're down converting 1, so they can still accept some. I still think it's right to cut them on this. Not even sure that we need another priest anywhere. It doesn't look like it's meaningful. They have no towns left to found, so the final nomad priest is earmarked for a shipping upgrade. unless they want to dig through this. On one shipping, they can dig here for 2 workers, and then they can sandstorm. But they still need to construct 2 dwellings. Do they have 2 dwellings? Yes. So they would require 3 workers. They could get that via an inefficient conversion from their power here, and then down converting a priest to a worker. So these are all options. They can still connect without this. But, let's see, will they have the resources to... We have 6 buildings left on our map. That's so bad. I mean, obviously we're gonna make it 5 before game end. But we want to keep ahead of the nomads. We don't want them to dig across and defeat us in network scoring. So not losing in network scoring requires us to get down 2 more buildings. Which means we need to build a dwelling, upgrade a trading post, build a dwelling. We have enough workers for that, and we're the Alchemists, so we always have enough coins for that. It's kind of a question of how deep can we go. I think we can actually do another TP upgrade into a dwelling construction. If we want to. In order to win that, but only if we take this right now. So I think that's what we want to cut, because we can ensure we win network, and on top of that ensure that we defeat or that the nomads get burned extra hard for their town tile choice. So this is our next action. It does kind of give up on the extra priest, but again, don't think we need it. The nomads have theirs earmarked 100% for what they'll need to do to connect. And the witches, their last priest is going into a shipping upgrade. Oh, no, witches actually have 2 shipping. I lied. Okay, so they ship enough, but we don't care. Witches are already ahead of us on these cults anyway. And still have this bump too, so we can't even catch them on water. So let's seal the deal on this. Screw you, nomads. I am a jerk. Swarmlings getting so many cult points, but we'll get 0 on network. True that. They are definitely getting a 0 on their network. This is a very interesting endgame. And of note, Deluxe, is that we are constantly staying vigilant to make sure that any minuscule misstep from the nomads results in them not connecting. They still have the possibility of connecting, but they have a lot with perfect play, but they have many ways to misstep. They don't have enough shipping yet. They only have 1. And they don't have a lot of resources either. They still have their sandstorm, as well as max upgraded digging, though. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I think in order to win this, I think we really need to keep the nomads down and defeat them on network. So we're hoping we can catch a misstep. If he upgrades shipping here, he's done. Okay, he didn't upgrade shipping. Great. That's, well, not great. We really wanted to catch him on that. Okay, so he did that, and then he built. Now he has the option to sandstorm and construct a dwelling, except he can't get the coins for it, right? Like, where are the nomads' resources coming from? Favors can't give resources. None of his bonus tile has an action that would give resources. I think he's stuck. As long as he doesn't receive power by his next move, the nomads are stuck because we cut this away. And they misstepped in how they did this, I think. They have a total of 1 coin, and the priest can be converted to a worker, so they So they're a coin short of building the connection dwelling. And that's happy times for us. So now, what do we need to win on network? Nomads are gonna get crushed, swarmlings are gonna get crushed. What about the witches? So the witches have 4 left on the map. We have 6 is a lot, but we also have a big pile of resources, and we have as much as 100 extra gold if we want it as the Alchemists. So, it would seem like we could do something big here. In terms of single dig spots, we have here, here, here. We're not going to take this one. The Nomads are desperate to get the power. Since we know we probably want to go trading post upgrade first. Please get 100 coins. No, Illusion. Sorry, no. Okay, so there is... If Nomads fail to connect, then there's this worry where we get... if we throw down our last dwelling, that's pretty fine resource-wise. I guess there's no possibility of Nomads upgrading shipping anymore. That's just vanished away. So we do not have to be prepared to cut this tile, and we can't even cut these, so we can stop worrying about keeping the dwelling hidden in the banks. So on that note, we can go ahead and just place the darn thing. Where do we want it? I think the answer on that... it is 2 workers and 2 coins to build a dwelling here. That gives us only 2 points. So 2 coins is worth a point by itself. So again, this is kind of like a point neutral action that keeps the option open to defeat witches on network, I think. So let's go ahead and build this one. Again, we're really sure Nomads have no way to upgrade shipping, right? I don't see how they could do it. They're short way too many coins. I think the fact that we cut this just killed them for the whole game. So let's go. I guess we actually produce 2 power by making the dig, which gives a coin back, so that makes this a more equal trade. Let's grab this. Illusion, could you clarify for me? What did you not realize? Okay, yes. I see the discourse here, yes. So Alchemists have the ability to turn coins back into money, too, and it's at a rate that's better than final scoring. So, that's a thing. Also, I think now that Nomads can't connect, our primary contender may have shifted to Witches, or maybe Swarmlings. They have so many cult points. I don't even know who we're playing against here. I wish we had a calculator. But let's recall that the Nomads the Swarmlings and the Witches are not taking any points for passing from their bonus card. Only the Nomads and I get that, and the Nomads only get 3 to my 8. So actually sort of in the endgame position, I think we're in decent shape right here. I don't want to lose 2 points. No thanks, there's no way that's worth. Where did they even make an action to give that option? Oh, they upgraded here. Oh my god, they gave 1 power to the Nomads! How could you do that? Yeah, now they're gonna Sandstorm, and if you give them 1 more power, you've, undone everything. Witches, I hate you. I hate you so much. Illusion, I used to be a high school math teacher, and I always warned about the opposite, actually. I crafted all my problems so no calculator was required. Don't ever give me decimal answers, etc. Stick to the 2-player game, yes. Well, as long as the nomads don't gain one more power. Right, there's only one more action between us and them before they must do something that spends away the possibility of builds. So the witches just have one action where they have to not blow it. And it's looking like witches are going to upgrade a TP. As long as that they don't do that down here, we want them to do it like here or here. Oh, God help us if they do it there. Okay. So that means if they upgrade a TP to a, temple, then they'll be looking at, no, sorry, they want to upgrade a dwelling to a trading post and then build a trading post. Can they do all this? No. So they're stuck at 4 buildings on their map. We could zoom all the way up to, defeating them in network, but it's really costly, and I don't know that that's really what we want to do here. Crumb, if I had shipping reach here, I would actually dig this a different color right now. Because it just turns a worker into a 2 power, which is a coin, which is like the same final game scoring wise as a worker. So, how, again, I could, if I had water, the water favor this would be worth, but this is really a massive expenditure of things in a bad way. I think I just want to flip it all over to final scoring and allow the witches to defeat me on network. I think that's actually worth more points. Because I actually have to go points in the hole to beat them on network by converting from power. Yeah, so we want to lose to witches on network. Weird as that is. So now we're just going to do our, we're going to do a whole bunch of conversions and pass out. And I think that's the best we have. We want to run the conversions manually so it doesn't catch them at final scoring. It catches them at our improved rate. So I think we can, let's see. I guess we can dig, and it's just as good, just to stall. That's an option, actually. Let's reset all conversions, and just dig 1 space, because we have to dig a space anyway to retain the ability to, again, it just converts a worker to a coin, so it doesn't change our final game scoring, and we must dig a space regardless. Okay, I'm getting called out for... Alright, witches have evaded it for 1 round, thank goodness. That would have been such a headache if they'd actually granted that power. Table talk seems fine, okay? if I'm gonna play a 4-player game, I you know, this is just kind of the thing about it. Like, it's not even calling out collusion, because we're not making actions that aren't optimal for us anyway, right? Like, I'm just pointing out to him his optimal play. And it's not even like, okay, yes, I have a vested interest in him making his optimal play here. But it's not even like it's like we're somehow conspiring to keep the nomads down via some, like, line that's slightly suboptimal for both of us. Okay, well, I've started a chat flame war. I'm just not gonna engage in this. But I think we have, again, expending our resources to defeat the witches on network is so massively minus points that it's not even worth doing. So we're just gonna check out here and let the witches win on network. And we'll take second, and we'll hope against hope that that's somehow good enough. Because we have more final scoring points than everyone, and we're gonna go into the end game ahead on points. Just because we get points off of this pass. And we're not losing any cults either. Okay, now we even on top of all this have Rage. Rage that I am streaming this game. Do those 3 people have an army? I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think there's much of a war to be fought with these people. This is pretty funny. Like, I can understand him being a little frustrated that I would highlight someone else's best move. But, whatever. Like, I certainly have a right to stream things that are public anyway. This game is something that any of you could spectate publicly even without me streaming it. All you have to do is hop on Board Game Arena. Alright, well, who knows how this is gonna end out, though. It's sort of interesting to see how the final scoring shakes out, because I'm not sure that we're ahead in any way. Swarmlings passing out, and I guess... I'm sorry, the Swarmlings gained some points when they passed. Oh, but it's because they have an Air 1 favor to give them points on their pass. Again, we don't have anything left to do in this, so let's just convert before final scoring catches our resources. And we have to burn 2 power tokens, advance 2, and then this is all just money. We actually wound up, I think we wound up generating money off of doing the dig, or generating points off of doing the dig, because turning a worker into the even-numbered coin is plus a point, and it was the congruent to 1 modulo 3 in resources without. So this works out for us regardless. And now we can go ahead and, yep, there's, oh, no, I lied because I missed this one. Whoops. So there was an extra coin. We didn't make a point. We just broke even. And hopefully this takes us there. It's actually shocking that, you know, we're only just tied with the Swarmlings after that huge round for us. Oh, does Twitch have a salt emoji? That's perfect. Yeah, salt away. Salt and Baby Rage. Am I gonna get to see an exhibition of every rage emoji that appears? Okay, happy to decline that. Interesting. Okay. So chat, I have a statement for all of you. You may be interested to know that this orange Julius Caesar character, who's obviously the rager in-game, has actually been watching this match the entire time. Yeah, I can see that, orange. So I suppose now we're aware of why you didn't try upgrading the shipping, of why you knew to cut the black space on the first turn. So now we know the whole game was a sham. And if you lose anyway, that's gonna be pretty embarrassing. Sorry, Caesar, I'm not super interested in engaging with your shit show. So, let's see, how do I do this? I think there's a button for this. Done. Bye-bye. Just for chat's reference, I'm sure the person is still watching. They're still eminently capable of watching this stream. It's just that they can no longer chat here. Yep. Let's set about the work of counting this up. So, Swarmlings are going to take 0 network, but they have a massive number of points in, a massive number of... Well, I guess we don't have to count. Finally, it's gone and passed out, and it's going to count for us. And, this is very nerve-wracking to watch, because we know the Swarmlings are going to pull quite far up. Good news is the Nomads get almost nothing in endgame scoring, so what we can be assured of is no matter how we do in this, we know for certain that the Nomads will get last place. Which is eminently deserved, given that they were cheating, spying in the whole time. 18 for Witches, 12 for us. Okay, so we took ahead of the Witches, and oh, but shame, we lost to the Swarmlings, as much as it looked like they weren't managing anything. Which is, sort of incredible. I was so sure we had them. How does that fare for us? ELO-wise, we are set back a single point. That's not too bad. Pretty happy to, see the guy crushed who couldn't even make his own moves and had to spectate our chat. How do we thumbs down this person? Yeah, I want to give a thumbs down, and everyone should avoid this person, because they have lots and lots of rage. Insults others and says inappropriate things. We'll pick that one. Okay. Thanks all for watching. Yeah, Deluxe, good eye. I had said in the rounds, in rounds around 3 and 4 that I was very worried that Swarmlings were a contender. So I sort of called it out ahead of time, but I thought they'd fallen behind enough that perhaps somehow we would beat them despite their massive point lead. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother answering this. I'm sure that person can Google stream sniping if they want. Am I going to report for cheating illusion? No, I'm not going to. I don't think BGA needs to see anything like that. Just because, like, you know, I have consistent philosophies here. This game was put out there in public just by virtue of playing it on the internet on a site where everyone can spectate. So, you know, that's why it's totally fine for me to be streaming this without any permission from anyone. But on the flip side, you know, this stream is put out there in public where anyone can watch it. So I can't really begrudge someone turning around to and actually watching, you know? Like, BGA can just as easily say, well, why weren't you better filtering who watched the stream? So, yeah, no reports for anything like that. It's incredibly dishonest and scummy of this person, but one could call it cheating, but you know, in the end, they did what they were incentivized to do in a thing. There, no filters on this. I'm not gonna go and report more so than giving the thumbs down. So sorry that ended on a really sour note, everyone. But yeah, I guess it is what it is, and I guess yeah, I'll see you back for more play on Saturday. Remember, Saturday stream starts early, but it runs twice as long. Yes, Illusion, pineapple can be sour. But I think we established already that only the avatar is a pineapple and this person is an avocado, which is actually a lot more oily. No, be nice. Let's, you know, one bad apple doesn't have to spoil the bunch here. We played against two very nice opponents, and that's how we're remembering this. At least that's how I choose to remember this. You all can come to your own conclusions. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please consider following if you like this sort of board game content, and I'll see you back on Saturday. Thanks.